It is now time for the main event. The Call Clash Tommy Live. Greatest NBA players to never win a ring. Will, let's settle this. You want to go first or you want me to set the tone?
So, do we want to go 5-1? Is that how we're
5-1. 5-1.
okay? I'll let you here. I'll do my list because I know that you said that yours is pretty controversial.
Oh, no. So you'll do 5 and then I'll do 5 and then you'll do 4.
Got it.
Nope.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'll go first here. At my 5 spot, I have Patrick Ewing.
Ooh.
Patrick Ewing, and you'll see a theme here with my list, but Ewing was a victim of playing in the wrong era. He played in an era that was dominated by this fella out of Chicago, Michael Jordan.
Never heard of him. Who is that?
Yeah. Yeah, who's that guy? Yeah, he's not on this list for several reasons. But yeah, Michael Jordan, and when Michael wasn't in the league, going off and playing baseball for some reason, there was a guy named Hakeem Olajuwon with the Rockets who won a couple of titles there in the middle. Plus, and you got to give it, in the 90s, the Knicks just had a lot of bad luck. They couldn't get over the hump. No matter how hard they tried. Patrick Ewing was great. And by all accounts, a Hall of Famer, an all NBA guy. But he's at number 5 on this list for me for the best players to never win a ring.
Number 5, Patrick Ewing. Well, my number 5, everywhere this guy went, he made better. His career is legendary, and he is a future Hall of Famer for sure. He is Mr. CP3 himself, Chris Paul. He is a 12-time All-Star, 2008 to 2016, 2020 to 2022. He's an NBA All-Star Game MVP. He's a 4-time NBA first team, 5-time NBA second team. He's a 2-time All-NBA third team, 7-time all defensive first team, 2-time all defensive second team, NBA rookie of the year in 2006, rookie first team, all rookie first team in the same year. He's a 5-time NBA assist leader. He's a 6-time NBA steals leader, 2008, 2009, 2011 to 2014. And he is a part of the 75th year anniversary team. He has 23,058 career points for 16.8 points per game, 6,006 rebounds, and 12,552 assists. And if you swap, and I'm just going to spoiler alert right now. I left Steve Nash off of my list because if you swap Chris Paul onto those Suns team that had Steve Nash, then you better. And boy, if you put Steve Nash on any of those teams that Chris Paul played for, they don't get better, especially not defensively. So at number 5, I have Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. Chris didn't make my top 5, but I will say that he would have won a title. 1, if he would have been swapped places with Steve Nash, but 2, if David Stern had not blocked the trade to send him to the Lakers.
Yes, I remember that.
To the Lakers and teams up with Kobe Bryant. Kobe would have so many more rings, and Chris Paul would have one with him, or 2 or 3. Who knows? That's one of the biggest what ifs, and that could be another segment. The biggest what ifs in NBA history, because there's plenty to go from there. That just thought of that on the fly. But yeah, I like it. Yeah, I agree that he is up there. He did not make my top 5 for reasons that we'll talk about here in just a minute. But let's go to number 4. Number 4, this fella played 1 season of college basketball at the University of Syracuse. It is one Carmelo Anthony, who won a lot in his career. Okay, he's 10-time NBA All-Star, the scoring champion in 2013, 6-time All-NBA selection. He is in the top 10 in scoring all-time, 28,289 points. Like I said, he did win the 2003 NCAA National Championship as a freshman on that Syracuse team with Jim Boeheim. a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, but never got it done in the league. Bounced around with some teams that probably could have won it. He got on the Knicks, which, like I just talked about with Patrick Ewing, the bad luck Knicks. It happened. It's happened throughout history. It happened in the 90s. It happened in the 2000s. We'll see if this new era Knicks can bring it home. But it's just been bad luck after bad luck with the New York Knicks. And Patrick Ewing at 5 and Carmelo Anthony at 4 are the latest victims of the bad luck that's happened in Madison Square Garden.
Man, I'm not even gonna lie. I almost put Melo, and then I was like, man, I kind of wish he did not make my list. I kind of wish I would have put him in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm at number 4 for me. He's a two-way elite anchor of a legit contender. I mean, he definitely was there. But as Mr. Will here just mentioned moments ago, he fell victim to Michael Jordan, and that is Patrick Ewing. And he was dominant, and he was one of the best players on a finals team in the most brutal era in NBA history.
Yeah.
So, Patrick Ewing didn't win a ring, but in that era, just getting there as the guy means more than people want to admit, and real quick, 11-time NBA All-Stars, all NBA first team in 1990, 6-time all NBA second team, 3-time NBA all defensive second team, rookie of the year in 1986, all rookie team. He's a part of the 75th and 50th year anniversary team. So Patrick Ewing makes number 4 for me. Just that era was just oh my gosh, it's like, what are we doing? And
it was disgusting, man. Because you think about, there were so many guys from that era that, like you said, make those 50th and 75th anniversary teams. Yeah. But it was just, you look, most of these guys, and a lot of these guys are on this list from the Dream Team. This is the greatest team assembled ever to take on the rest of the world in the Olympics. And now, that team was probably to blame a lot for why the international rise in the NBA, because all these other countries were like, well, we're not going to play soccer anymore. We're going to play basketball because we're going to beat America. And so that's what a lot of those guys had to do in that era. But yeah, you had him at 3. I had him at 5. I wouldn't have put him that high, but it's because of this next guy on my list. Number 3, it's for a lot of the same reasons that I have Patrick Ewing on the list. But Karl Malone, the great Utah Jazz legend on this list, 2-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA first team, won the MVP of the All-Star game a couple times, 3-time NBA All-Defense, made first team as a rookie, was, again, part of the Dream Team. You'll see a theme here, but also won a gold medal in 96 in the 50th and 75th anniversary teams. Averaged 25 points and 10 rebounds for his career. Averaged a double-double in the era that was dominated by Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and all those guys. Fun fact, so I live in Hamburg, Arkansas. Scottie Pippen is from Hamburg, Arkansas. And Mr. Scottie Pippen, he's from here. And you'll see him every so often try to walk in the streets of Hamburg. But yeah, that's a little fun fact. But nearly just shy of 37,000 points for Karl Malone. And that's what puts him at number 3 on my list.
Well, that's definitely a great place to put him, I suppose. Number 3 for me is he was dominant. He was great. You probably still hear him a lot today. Charles Barkley. I'm sure some of you might hate this. Some of you guys are going to hate this. Let me know. That's okay. I welcome it. But for me, he always seemed to always have a great team or a better team than, let's say, Karl Malone. So I put Charles Barkley at 3. Now, he's great. NBA MVP in 1993, 11-time NBA All-Star from 1987 to 1997. So 11 straight years as he was the NBA All-Star game MVP in 1991, 5-time All NBA first team, 5-time All NBA second team, All NBA third team, All Rookie first team, NBA rebounding leader in 1987, and he's part of the 50th and 75th year anniversary. So he has 23,757 career points for an average of 22.1 points per game. That's pretty solid. And 12,546 rebounds for 11.7 rebounds per game. And he even managed to get 3.9 assists per game in that era. And we know that in that era, big guys aren't like they are today. Like it's not like Jokic and he's like leading the league in rebounds and assists per game. Back then the bigs didn't handle the ball unless they were shooting the ball or dunking the ball. So the fact that he had 3.9 is still pretty impressive, but he falls number 3 for me. So
yeah, Chuck is an interesting story. Chuck is at my 2. Okay, Charles Barkley is number 2 for me, and the reason for that is because one of the more undersized bigs that you see. You in today's NBA, you've got the guys who are really big, but also can stretch the floor. You got a guy like Wembanyama who's 7'5", I think, and you've a lot of Jokic is a 7-footer. You got all these 7-footers. Barkley was 6'6". A lot of people don't really realize that. He was just super physical down there. One of only 4 guys in NBA history to have 20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 4,000 assists. Quite the career. Just couldn't get it done. But now he's he lost a lot of games. Never won a ring. Didn't ever make it over the hump. He caught the end throughout his career. He caught MJ at the wrong time, and then when MJ's time was done, Barkley had just a short stint there at the end, but that was dominated by Shaq and Kobe, and so he was catching it on all ends through this, and so he's at my number 2. I'm interested to see where your top 2 land with this because I'm interested in what you have here.
Okay, well, no real shock at number 2. The spiciness really comes at number 1, or hopefully, maybe I really hope you didn't put the same player as me because then I was still like thunder. Okay, so at number 2, I have Karl the Mailman Malone. I couldn't leave this man off my list. Top 3 in scoring all time. He was such a great player, just could never find a way to win one. Even when he joined the Lakers at the end of his career, 2-time MVP, 14-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA All-Star Game MVP, 11-time first team NBA, 2-time second NBA. I mean, the list goes on and on. 36,928 points. That's 25 points a game. 19,468. That's 10.1 rebounds per game. Just under 15,000 career rebounds. That is a great stat to have. And he still managed to get 5,238 assists for the 3.6 average there. I just, when I watched highlights and I watched John Stockton and Karl Malone, I was just like, man, what a great duo. And then they just never managed to get there. And so unfortunately, Karl Malone never got one. He makes my top 5. Probably not a list that he wants to be on. And so at number 5, you don't want to make number 5, but as we get closer to 1, you really don't want to be and you especially don't want to be the number 1 guy that we're about to cover right now. And so
we'll see how this shakes out. So my number 1,
all right, man, you're my number 1,
is really a name that if you're a huge basketball fan, you really know. But if you're a casual, you may not know this name just a ton. 27.4 points per game is what this guy averaged, which is 3rd all time. He played in an era in the 1950s and into 1971 that was dominated by the Boston Celtics. You can, if you want to look back at that time, 8 in a row for the Boston Celtics with Bill Russell, who was player/coach in that era. My number 1, the great Elgin Baylor, is my number 1. 3rd highest scoring average in NBA history, just behind Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. 27.4 per game, 13 and a half rebounds per game, which is good enough for 11th all time. Doesn't have just he's got a bunch of points over his career, but it's 23,000 points, over 11,000 rebounds, 11-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team, Rookie of the Year in 1959, part of the 35th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams. Number is retired, hanging in the rafters for the Lakers over at Crypto Arena. For a long time, had the second highest single game scoring record at 71 points, and just had a really stellar career. And had he had the mentality that a lot of guys have right now, he would have a ring because he would have joined with the Celtics and would have gotten it. I'm a firm believer, and this is full intended to be a shot at one of the I'm going to say he's one of the best in the league currently. But if Kevin Durant doesn't join the Warriors, he is ringless, and he is on this list. Because he joined a Warriors team that was already stacked, that had Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and then you added him. You had 4 future Hall of Famers all on one team. So for those reasons, I have Elgin Baylor at number 1.
Wow, that's a great one. I'm curious real quick. Let's play a quick hypothetical before I reveal my number one guy to never win a ring. You just said if Durant never joined the Warriors, he never wins one, and he would be on your list.
Yes.
Okay. Who would you take off? Who are you taking off, and where would Durant have fallen in that situation?
You know, that's interesting. That is interesting. He may be one. He may have jumped to number 1 if he hadn't gone back to back with the Warriors. If he had stayed in Oklahoma City, he'd probably be number 1. Just because you got to think about he ushered in this new era with Steph Curry, but he was doing it as a 6'10" guy, hitting shots. One of the greatest scorers of all time. Just his ability to score probably reaches up into that 1 or 2 spot to be in that slot. So listen, people can disagree all they want, but that was fully intended to be a shot at KD because there's no reason. There is a reason. There's a reason he joined the Warriors. It was to win championships, and he did it. I mean, he was successful, but he had to have on the coattails of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to do it. So,
well, I mean, one can say that Scottie Pippen needed Jordan, or Jordan needed Pippen, or whatever you may, one could say that.
But neither one of those guys jumped ship to go.
I know.
Play with MJ.
One could say that. Chris Bosh needed LeBron, which I mean he did after LeBron left.
He did.
All right, guys. Well, I mean we're getting there. We're there.
Who's your number 1? I need to know who this number 1 is.
All right, guys. Are you guys ready for this? This is my number 1, and I don't know if you guys are ready for this because
there's been a lot of build up for this.
There's been a lot of build up, and if you're still rocking with us, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and become the newest member here of the community. And all right, I don't think you are. I don't think anybody's ready for this. My number 1 player to never win a ring in the NBA is none other than Allen the Answer Iverson. I know what you're thinking. This might be a shocker to most of you, but for me, it's a no-brainer. Can you say greatest carry job of all time? Iverson was the whole team, and he did so much to carry his team. He took a very weak 76ers team, a 76 team roster to the 2001 finals. He beat prime Vince Carter and Ray Allen in the East. He was an elite scorer in a brutal era. He's a 4-time scoring champ. He changed the league's culture, style, swagger, attitude. At only 6 foot, facing all the giants in the NBA, the Patrick Ewings and the Shaquille O'Neals and the David Robinsons and all of them. He faced all them giants. Iverson probably had the least amount of help out of everybody on this list. Iverson didn't win a ring, but nobody without one came closer with less. That's why He is my number one, 2-time most valuable player. Or he's an NBA most valuable player, 11-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA All-Star Game MVP, 3-time NBA first team, 3-time NBA second team, all NBA third team, rookie of the year, all rookie first team, 4-time scoring champion, like I just said, 1999, 2001, which they went to the finals, 2002 and 2005, 3-time NBA steals leader from 2001 to 2003. Without Allen Iverson, that 76ers team is nothing. They are absolute nothing, and they would have never made the finals. So for me, Allen Iverson has to be number one.
It's an interesting take for sure. I will say he was one that changed the game for a lot of reasons, but it's because, he was this guy who had the killer crossover, but he wasn't a point guard. He was not a point guard on that team. He was their two guy. There was a shooting guard that was a part of that team. And so I don't know that you can necessarily say he's number one all time for one season that he carried the 76ers in. But I know that I'm saying that he carried him to the finals. But again, he's victim, like a lot of these other guys are, to the super team that was. And for a lot of my guys, it was MJ and Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson. For a guy like Allen Iverson, it's Shaq and Kobe and Phil Jackson. And so it's
and David Robinson and David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
Yeah. And so it's an era dominated by just a few teams. And so I respect it. I don't agree, but I respect it.
Well, that's fine because we disagree on everything.
The call clash.
All right, that is the call clash. Now it's time to settle it, guys. Who won today's clash? Let us know